here we have right now. Let me ask you something. If you go to a town and there are police everywhere, is that safe? Police everywhere. On every corner, there are cops. Well, I used to do this little thing back when I was attending university, where I would ask white females, is a town safe if there are police everywhere? And in every single case, the white females told me, yeah, really safe if there are police everywhere. No, it's the exact opposite. There were no police in that video of Los Angeles. Did you notice that? Because we are self-regulating. Of course, we're going to have, like any other group of people, our ne'er-do-wells. But what's our norm when it comes to a ne'er-do-well? We destroy them. That's our norm. So you watch the videos and the photographs of New York, Chicago, Detroit, Los Angeles, Miami, when they were all white, and there are no cops. I guess that means it's really not safe. No, it means it's really dangerous. It means things are really bad. And white people today are making the exact same error. They're saying, well, look at D.C., District of Columbia, for those who don't know, Washington, D.C. And by the by, when I say on the Hill, that's Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C., for those around the world. When they send troops in, not only police, when they have to send federal police in addition to the local police, and then troops in addition to the federal police, that means it's really bad. The fact that they can stop murders for a week or 2 or 10, or carjackings for 2 or 10 or 200 weeks, the fact that they can stop that doesn't mean that you won the culture war. It's the exact opposite of winning the culture war. This is the evidence of the end. In our countries, with our norms not white erased, our sensibilities, our mores, you don't need troops. You don't need federal police. You don't even need beat cops, itinerant cops walking around. You don't need that because it's white. This is the exact opposite of victory, cucks. My cuck friends out there, listen closely. This is the sign that it's over. When you get to the point that you have to use, by the way, Hexeth has armed the troops in D.C. Hexeth has armed the troops. I don't know if you're hearing me. The soldiers walking the streets and the 2,000 more that are going to be sent to 19 states. Interestingly enough, almost all of them are Republican states. And that 1,700 to 2,000 won't be the end of it. Armed soldiers. These troops are armed. This is evidence of the end, not safety, not victory of culture war. I have given this speech. Some of you from the very beginning, Mrs. Jess Horst can probably attest to this. From the very beginning when I was streaming, I was telling you all about the white papers that I had read from the government over the years about how they would handle an increasingly multiracial, violent United States. And in every single one of those white papers, they talked about greater force being used, troops on the streets being necessary, spying in every single conceivable way. Whether you are a villain or not, you've never done anything wrong, you never look like you would do anything wrong. They want to know what you're thinking. The government, I've given speeches on this. The government getting into every aspect of your life. You know how infuriating it is to speak year after year after year about what the coming years will look like as evidence of continuing failure, only to get to those years and have the entirety of the cuck population call that failure a victory. Sickening. So here you have DC now being celebrated by Fox, Newsmax, and Big Con Inc. Great victories. There are no more murders. There are no more. There are no carjackings this past week.
This is in Trump's blood. Cleaning up crime, that's a different ballgame. Many thought it couldn't be done. Do you believe in miracles?
D.C. is a miracle what's happened. There have been no murders in D.C. in the last week. That's the first time in anybody's memory that you haven't had a murder in a week.
Secretary Hegseth just authorized the Guard to carry weapons in Washington.
And by the way, could you imagine a scenario where the conservatives, the cucks, are saying, well, the Democrats are dropping the ball. Murder has gone through the roof again. And now that Trump is out, or Trump is a lame duck, and the Democrats are really dropping the ball because they're not using federal police and the military to keep us safe. I don't want to live in a country. I don't want to live in an environment where military police and the military or federal police and the military need to be on the streets to maintain order because you've so white erased our norms and our people.
But hopefully they don't need them. Seeing a Humvee roll down your street, that's enough to scare criminals into hiding. Everyone else has nothing to worry about. We saw some teens in D.C. talking to troops, scoping out the equipment. The Guard makes for better role models than gangsters. Locals want to see more cops on the streets.
I mean, can you imagine that the conservatives are praising this? Hey, you don't got anything to worry about by the troops with their fully auto weapons locked and loaded. Because you're not committing a crime, right? Right?
What do you guys think about the feds coming here to Washington, D.C.?
I love it. I love it.
By the way, I also have to point out for the midwittery out there, because you can find some denizens of Washington, D.C. that will say, hey, I love the troops being out, doesn't mean that they're automatically great people, good, doing good in their totality of their life. No, you have to try to appreciate something. In the jungle, the most violent wields power over the remainder. That doesn't mean the next tier down, 10 more tiers down are not equally willing to commit crime and be violent. They're just not able to because there are others who are currently in that role. So keep that in mind as well, conservatives out there, when you see some denizens of Washington, D.C., and they're like, boy, I love it now. I wasn't able to come out here myself and rob last week because there was that gang that was here. But now I can come out again. I can live again. I can start looking for prey again.
I wish it was more.
And do you think Donald Trump's wrong for wanting to come in here and clean up the city?
Nope. No, I do not. This is the nation's capital. You got tourists scared to come here.
Tourists aren't scared anymore. This is the safest D.C.'s ever been. Everyone's happier, except white liberals.
What do you think about the
And
federal
there
government
you had it. Here are your cucks. Amazing, isn't it? Absolutely amazing how the people who don't see race, and this is the most despicable thing about conservatives, the people who don't see race are instantly able to see Black and Jewish and etc. when they want to better their lives, when they want to come to their defense, when they want to specifically celebrate those groups. And at the same time, the people who don't see color or race, they are able to see the white race when it's time to blame for everything being bad in America. Same thing happens in other Western countries as well. No problem whatsoever. Oh, it's just them white people. It's just them white people. They're the problem. Wonder if Jesse Waters would ever say, it's just them Jews. It's just them Jewish liberals. Would Jesse? Of course not. No cuck would. It's just them black liberals out there ruining everything for all of us.
Coming in here and trying to stop the crime.
It's a bad idea.
Okay, so do you think they're overstepping their boundaries?
What's wrong with this woman? It's that she's anti-white. Here's the thing that's really fascinating. You can talk to people in the schmuck circle, and they want to say it's all non-whites. And you could say it's the anti-whites, and you're right. You can go over to the cuck circle, and they can say, oh, it's all the white people that are these white liberals. And you can say it's the anti-whites, and you are still right.
Here in Washington, D.C.?
Yeah, I mean, it's wrong on all sorts of levels. It's just dumb.
Hundreds of arrests, no murders, guns and drugs off the street.
Oh, it's all better now. It's all safe. It's all safe. This is all you had to do all along. You only need this now.
About that. The feds are putting it all on the line.
Yeah, this is what you want to see. I don't know about as manly as I am, as much as I love military gear and machinery, and I don't want to see any of that shit on city streets because of what it means. Unless it's a military parade, the only reason they're out is because our civilization has been white erased.
To protect the same whiny white liberals.
Right. To protect the same whiny white liberals. I wonder if Jesse would ever say the whiny Jewish liberals. I wonder if he would ever say no, he wouldn't, because he's a coward cuck. That's why.
Here is the fugitive. They caught him. They moved up on him before we could even get here because they felt that now was the time to act. They got him underneath arrest. They had the girl with him underneath arrest. She's getting detained. They're running a field interview with her. And this right here is a wanted fugitive that's being taken off the streets of Washington, D.C. We found a gun underneath the tree trunk, and he's also been known for selling drugs here. And just like that.
You know what? It's amazing that there are more white people that can look out and say, oh my God, the number of villains, the number of monsters that were out there potentially preying on our people. I mean, even the typical white, selfish, individualistic cuck couldn't say the number of animals, of monsters roaming the streets that could have preyed upon me and my immediate family. There's got to be a better fix to this. You can't put a Band-Aid on this and just arrest them today and everything's going to be okay.
You guys just got a fugitive off the streets.
Absolutely.
And you think this guy would have been?
And we've been looking for this guy for about 2 days.
But Democrats would rather have the fugitives on the streets than cops.
Do we feel good about ourselves? Yeah, we feel great, actually. Why do you think it's pathetic? They just arrested a guy who had a gun underneath the tree trunk. Why is it pathetic?
Because it's pathetic.
That they found a guy who had a gun underneath the tree
Why
trunk.
pathetic? You're okay. You can justify anything. You backfill your beliefs constantly. You're targeting all the unhealth in the city.
This is the power of anti-whiteism. Completely irrational. Completely illogical. They look at this. The schmucks look at this. The cucks look at this. And they're like, God, they're so dumb. God, they're so... This is the power of the ideology of anti-whiteism. Completely illogical when it comes to a logical conversation. Fully faith-based, involved with malice if necessary and whatever else is needed to arrive at their anti-white destruction of the West. That I see in this, not stupidity, I see power. Because I'm smarter than those.
You get out of my face. You're going to act like that.
The operation in D.C. is working flawlessly. National Guard secures the city and lets the cops pick up the bad guys. Washington's America's front door, and it's squeaky clean.
All right. Enough of that garbage.